Hey guys, in today's lesson we're going to learn the chord number system. So basically we're going to learn how to number the chords that you use in a chord progression or in a song. So this chord number system is also called the Nashville number system because it's very popular among Nashville session players, but it's also very common in R&B, Neo Soul and gospel music. So if you guys happen to play in church, or in general if you happen to play gospel and one of your bandmates or the musical director calls for the chords that you have to play, the method that they will use is more likely to be through numbers. So you need to be ready to play the chords that you need just with numbers. This is also very helpful when you have to play a chord progression or a song in a different key from what you are more used to play. This method is also very common when you go over a harmonic analysis of songs, especially in jazz, but not only in jazz. So we're going to learn how you can approach any type of chord progression with this system today. Before we get started, if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. So the very first thing that you guys need to know is the harmonized major scale and also the harmonized minor scale. So basically the 7 chords that you find when you harmonize the C major scale, for instance, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and back to C major. Now when you play these chords, because they represent the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 of the scale, you might think, well, I can just use the Roman numerals, which is the method that we use in music for each degree. But together with use these Roman numerals, you need to specify whether the chord is major, minor or diminished. Now when the chord is major, you will be using a capital letter of the Roman numerals. So for instance on the first, as well as the fourth and the fifth degree, you will be just using the Roman numeral in capital letter. For the minor chords, so for instance on second, third and sixth, second, third, sixth, you use small letters for the Roman numerals, and for the diminished, again, number 7, you'll be using small letters as well. If you happen to play 7th chords together with the Roman numerals, you also need to specify what type of 7th you're using. So for instance, the C major becomes a C major 7, therefore together with the 1 in Roman numeral capital letters, you need to use major 7 next to it. But when you go to 2 and 3, which are 2 minor chords which become minor 7th, when you extend them to the 7th, you need to use the 2 and 3 in small letters followed by the minus 7. So you are basically saying the minor triad is now a minor 7th chord. You might just want to use the number 7 next to the 2 not in capital letter, for instance, because that means minor chord with the 7th, with the minor 7th degree. But if you want to avoid any confusion with the dominant 7 chord, you can also use minus 7 next to the 2 not in capital letters. The same thing applies to the 3rd degree and to the 6th degree. Okay. When you play the 4th becomes a major 7 as well, so that's exactly the same as the 1. You just use 4 capital letters followed by major 7. And when you go to the 5th degree, that becomes a 7 dominant, therefore you're going to use the 5 in capital letters followed by the number 7. And for the 7th degree, which is half diminished, you're going to use the small 7 followed by minor 7 flat 5. So recapping these 7 chords, you get 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, 4 major 7, 5 dominant 7, 6 minor 7, 7 half diminished, and then you're back to the 1st degree. Now if you guys know that each key in music has a relative minor, you know that you can also call the C major key A minor, or even better, you can say that all of the notes in the C major key are also in the A minor key or A minor scale. Therefore the A minor scale contains all of the notes of the C major just starting from the 6th degree, starting from A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G and back to A. This means that when you harmonize this scale, you get exactly the same chords that we went through right now, but you need to keep in mind a couple of things. First of all, that the numbers now start from A. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so on. But also that every minor scale has a minor 3rd, minor 6th, and minor 7th degrees. Now, when we talk about single notes in the scale, you use the symbol flat 3, flat 6 and flat 7 to indicate that the 3rd, the 6th and the 7th degrees are minor, even when the note is a natural note. So when I go from A to C, I say that's a minor 3rd, but C obviously is a natural note. It doesn't contain any flat or sharp. Well, the exact same thing will apply to chords. So when I talk about the numbers in the minor keys, the A minor or A minor 7 on the 1st degree will be just written with 1, not in capital letters, of course, followed by -7 if you have a -7 chord, or just the I, the number 1 in Roman numeral, not in capital letter, to say 1 minor. When you go to the 2nd degree, which is now our B half diminished, you will follow the same as what we said for the 7 before. So 2, not in capital letters, -7 flat 5. But when we get to C, which is the minor 3rd degree in the key of A minor, the way you have to treat this chord, even when it's just a C major, or if it's a C major 7, so if you extend it to the 7th, is writing down flat 3, where the 3 is in capital letters because it's a major chord, but the flat just before is just a reminder that in any minor key, you're going to have a minor 3rd. Okay, that's quite obvious. Every minor chord, every minor scale, every minor key has a minor 3rd. So you can say that a C major 7 is a flat 3, capital letters, major 7. When you get to the 4th and the 5th degree, they are both -7, so you're going to use the 4 and the 5 in small letters, followed by -7. For the 6th degree, which is a major 7th, you do exactly the same as you did for the flat 3rd degree. So for the minor 3rd degree, you're going to write flat 6 because it's a -6th degree. The note F is the -6th degree in the key of A minor, major 7, because the chord that you get is a major 7. And anyway, the 6 in Roman numeral is going to be in capital letters. If you get just a triad, an F major for instance, that's all you write, flat 6 with the 6 in capital letters. And then when you get to the 7th degree, which is a G7, okay, what you do is writing down flat 7, again because G is the -7th degree in A minor, followed by the dominant 7, so the 7 only in the symbol, or if you just get a G major triad, all you have to do is writing flat 7 with the 7 in capital letters. So hopefully guys this makes sense. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this. And now we are ready to see a couple of examples, okay? The first chord progression will be in a major key and the second one will be in a minor key. Now in order to keep things as simple as possible, the very first chord progression is in C major, okay? So using some of the chords that we went through together, and it's a classic turnaround 1-6-2-5. So 1-6-2-5 means I'm gonna play C major, which is the 1st degree, A minor, 6th degree minor, D minor, 2nd degree minor as well, and G major, 5th degree. Okay, the way I notate the degrees is literally just using the Roman numerals according to whether they are major or minor. I'm going to use capital letters or small letters. If I extend this chord progression, this turnaround to 7th chords, all I get is C major 7, where the 1 in capital letters is now followed by major 7, then A minor 7, where the 6, not in capital letters, is now followed by 7 or by -7, even better, that's what I prefer personally. Then D minor 7, where the 2 follows exactly as in the A minor 7, is followed by minor 7. And then G7, where the 5 that we used to have in capital letters stays in capital letters, but you also have the number 7 next to it. Now, how can you practice this? Try to do a harmonic analysis of all of the songs or all of the chord progressions that you normally play, and try to think about how can you number all of the chords that you play in those songs. But now let's see an example in a minor key. So we said that this kind of analysis is very common in gospel, in R&B as well. So why don't we get a classic R&B progression in D minor. So D minor 7, B flat major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7. Now we are in the key of D minor, so D minor is going to be our 1 minor 7. B flat is the 6th note of the D minor scale. If I go through the D minor scale, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, B flat is the 6th note, but we already know that the 6th degree is going to be minor. So when I write the number for this B flat major 7, I will have to use flat, 6 in capital letters because the chord is major, followed by major 7. So the flat is not because the B is a B flat. The flat is just because the 6th degree of any minor key is going to be a minor 6th degree, okay? There is this confusion because the symbol that we use, the flat, is a symbol that we use for accidentals in music like B flat, but also for minor degrees, minor intervals like a minor 6th. So 1 minor, D minor 7, then flat 6 major 7, B flat major 7, G minor 7 is the 4 minor 7, and the A minor 7 is the 5 minor 7, so using the small letters followed by minor 7. Now guys, in order to see if everything makes sense, I'm now going to play a very short minor chord progression, so we are in a minor key, and you're going to tell me in the comments below what numbers you would use for these chords, okay? So the chords are G minor 7, C minor 7, E flat major 7, and D minor 7. Okay, I'm gonna read your comments, so I want to see how you write down the numbers for these chords. That being said, guys, the only other thing to keep in mind is that sometimes you use chords which are not diatonic, so they don't belong to the key that you are playing. So in that case, all you do is counting with the letters what degree that letter represents, and then if it's a minor interval, you use a flat before that, and then if it's a major chord, you're going to use capital letters. If it's a minor chord, small letters. And if it's a 7th chord, you need to also specify what 7th you used. This is very common for secondary dominant chords. For instance, if we go back to the chord progression in C major, which was a turnaround 1, 6, 2, 5. If at some point I get C major 7, which moves to an E7 before going to an A minor, I consider this E7, which is not a diatonic chord, because we have an E minor 7 in the key of C major, as a 5 of the 6, okay? This is a secondary dominant, so the way you write it down is 5, 7, capital letters, slash 6 in small letters, to say that this is the dominant chord to go to the 6th degree, okay? So that's the way you use the numbers for secondary dominants. There are similar rules for the tritone substitutions, writing down sub 5 when it's a tritone substitution, and also for modal interchanges and modulations, you're going to use the same system. Just write down what degree the chord represents, and then what type of chord it is, whether it's major, minor, and what kind of 7th, even when this chord is not diatonic. Right, that's all for this lesson, guys. I hope everything makes sense. Please get in touch with me if you have any questions. If it's your first time on the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to support this channel even more, you can join me on Patreon, the link is in the description, and you can find out what rewards I created for my patrons. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. This was The Builder Guitarist. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.